Oh, hey everyone, Mark the Movie Man here. I was just looking over my Terminator 2 limited edition here, VHS collector edition that had everything in a limited book, and then I was looking before the special edition one that had 15 minutes of never before seen footage. VHS tape, two of them. Yeah, I know, I'm dating myself. But I wanted to talk to you today. Oh, and my Arnie poster too. So, as you can tell, I love Terminator 2. Okay, and for me, that was the pinnacle of the franchise. In fact, I didn't expect it to go past 2, but then they made 3, and I'm like, really? And 3 was a huge disappointment and pretty much negated the story in 1 and 2. And then we get 4, Salvation, which I will admit was better than 3, though I didn't think it was needed. And that one, though, fell a little bit weak as well with some of the stuff they did. But still, it wasn't the worst of the franchise. And now I heard about Terminator Genisys in development a long time. Arnie gets on board. They're finally making it. They've got shots enough for a trailer, which has released today. And the reason I wanted to bring all this up, oh yeah, my hat too, is just because I want to let you know, I am a Terminator fan, okay? And I loved the first 2 films. I really think the way the story's structured and everything was fitting, especially for the decade it's in. And now with Genisys, it almost looks like they're trying to do a reboot. I mean, it even says it in the trailer. The rules have been reset, right? So we get shots of nuked out LA in the future, and we've got a very dramatic John Connor giving a very dramatic speech. And John Connor, the makeup on him, I don't know if they haven't finished it or what, but the scar on him just really looks a little cheesy, for lack of a better term. But I'm like, okay, fine. You know, they're fighting robots and humans fighting robots. I like this. This robot lands in front of John Connor in the trailer, and it almost looks like a transformer. Really? Oh, okay, fine. Yeah, they might have that. I can buy in that. We've got a closet full of Arnies in here. We get John telling about how robots were sent back to kill his mom. So then Kyle, we get the scene in there where he's volunteering in a time machine that looks much like the time machine that we saw in the previous film. And then we even get a scene that's shot similar to the way it was in the first one, where we get Kyle arriving in an alley, and he goes in the department store, gets his jacket, and we see how that plays out. But then a truck comes smashing through the store just as a T-1000 shows up. Sarah opens the door, says, "Come with me if you want to live," grabs Kyle, and they leave after she shoots up the T-1000 in special effects shots that look like they were stolen from Terminator 2. And then we go on from there with an action montage and her voiceover saying everything's been reset. The future isn't what John, what you guys saw anymore. And there's an Arnold that did come back to kill her, but then there was another Arnold robot that killed the first Arnold robot, and that robot's been with her. And so we basically, from it, what does sound like with this trailer is they're trying to do an amalgamation of at least the first 2 films, possibly even work the third one in there, reset the whole thing so they can move on with this franchise and do new stories. But unfortunately, this just it didn't capture me, okay? This trailer does not sell me on this movie. And in fact, these special effects shots, which I'm sure they're still working on in post, look like this were ripped from the 1992 movie. In fact, some of the shots, including that one that you see with Arnold and his robotic arm, looked better in Terminator 2 than it did here in a film that is 22 years later. I don't know if the filmmakers are trying to go for that feel that this is from 92. If so, they've accomplished that. Way to go. But if I'm going to get a new modern Terminator movie, I want some new modern special effects and some new ideas, some new effects. But this looks like they've taken all the old ideas and tried to throw them into one film. I'm not going to say this film's going to be bad. I am just saying this trailer did not sell me, and in fact made me even more hesitant about this movie. This franchise should probably not have gone past 2, okay? It was more set in a time during the Cold War. It had more effect there. The storyline had more impact there than I think it did today. I'm just asking them to come up with a really decent story that isn't relying just on the special effects and action to sell the film, okay? Terminator 2 had the action in there, but it also had character moments as well. Yet from this trailer, from everything we're seeing, it looks like it's just a dumbed down action film with some convoluted storyline. I may go into this film when it finally does come out and be wowed and awed and say, see, that trailer did not do its justice. And I'm hoping that's the case, but as of right now, it's not looking like that. But we'll have to see as more footage comes out. If you've seen the trailer, please leave your comments down below. I know I'm old man of the sea here in YouTube in relative YouTube age terms, but just for me, really, this franchise really had to stop at 2, and Genisys, from the trailer that was released today, doesn't really make me look forward to seeing the next movie. And that'll about do it for us here at The Final Cut. Thank you for watching. Until next time, keep that ticket stub.